right, man. Apparently, we have a video that's going viral, and there's so much to talk about in this particular video. So, I mean, I don't know if you stand on the side to stay out of black people business, you agree with her, but you like it's really not her place, or you just like wholeheartedly agree. And also, it's another aspect of it where people say, well, Kevin Samuels was saying this for years, okay? But let's go.
I already knew I had him because there was simply no competition out there for me. But let's just look at it objectively. You had this average black American guy who now was able to choose between what he was dealing with before and somebody completely new. And let me tell you, the moment I stepped into that man's life, he really didn't know how to deal with my femininity because I was not loud. I was not screaming. I was not trying to, be louder than him. I didn't interrupt him because that's not something that I learned from home. If somebody would speak, and especially a man, you would let that man speak and then you would listen and then say whatever you have to say, right? So I was clean. I cooked. He didn't know what it was when a woman is actually in the room asking him, like, do you want something to drink? Before I got myself something to drink. Do you want something to eat? Before I started to eat my food, I would ask him, do you want to have a bite? I would come out of nowhere and just have a fruit bowl and just offer him some fruit. He didn't know none of this. So my husband, back then boyfriend, really thought this was a dream come true. He didn't know how to deal with none of this because all this me coming through, just being nurturing by nature, his peoples and his family didn't even do that for him. Like the family, there is no family unit. The average family, especially black American family, has barely a family unit. There is no breakfast, lunch, and dinner at set times. And these are things that I introduced my husband to with my family. Can you imagine that impact that I had on him back then? So gentlemen, do not be afraid of traveling. There are so many more women out there who are willing to take care of you. It doesn't matter if they're young, it doesn't matter if they're older. They are willing to take care of you, willing to work with you, willing to be a part of your life. You don't have to deal with whatever you are dealing with back in your hometown because unfortunately, a lot of American women are lost in the delusional world that they are living in, and they don't even understand that they are going to be lonely for a long time, if not for the rest of their life. They say by choice, but I don't believe them.
All right, she said a mouthful there. Let me start off first and foremost. If a woman really, really likes you, she's going to do those things. Or if you train her to do those things, she's going to do those things. So it's all about how you picking and choosing. To be real, I hear a lot of guys ask me, "What you think about flying girls out of passport?" I'm not knocking whatever y'all do because I don't know y'all situations. But if you live in a major city and every girl is trash, unless it's like Atlanta or something like that down there, and there's no disrespect to Atlanta, but you get what I'm saying. Where it's kind of trick culture and stuff like that. I understand. Um, I understand. Maybe flying somebody out, or but me, it just don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Um, I live in Detroit, so it's like really to me, it's got options. Even surrounding areas like Grand Rapids and Flint and all, they got options. But but what she kind of saying is a lot of times a lot of these dudes, and kind of what people probably missing, I don't know if they are or not, what they kind of missing is that she's saying that these families have a culture, they have a cultural structure. Like a lot of us, man, like maybe the millennials was the last ones that at least sat at the breakfast and possibly the dinner table and ate dinner together. A lot of times the most consistent place we ate with other people at was at school. A lot of black people in general. A lot of us, we grew up in broken homes. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in broken homes. Maybe we ate together on a birthday dinner. I mean, I said this on Facebook and I came up with this. I said the funeral was the new family reunion. So it's a lot of things that she's saying is true that a lot of guys tend to divest for culture. You know what I'm saying? To have that cultural structure, to go marry into a family that has resources and all that. And it's a dark side to all of it, to be honest. Like whatever you choose is a dark side. But I remember I was, with somebody and we talked about having our own family and building our own culture structure like that. But a lot of times life started lifing. But a lot of guys, when they grew up on Family Matters or they grew up on, Step by Step or whatever the TV show was, you got to think about it for a minute. A lot of our TV shows, some people was the Brady Bunch, some people it was remember Alf. It depends on what it was. Some of us grew up watching the families have lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner together, and we wanted that as a family to sit there with our brothers and sisters or our parents and ask us about our day. A lot of us didn't have that. We got out of school, it was a note on the note on the fridge, do blase, blah blase, do this, do that, and the third, dinner on the stove. And a lot of times when we making these decisions to procreate, we don't think that we're destroying. We're not creating a cultural structure. Co-parenting is not a cultural structure, and the only cultural structure that we had as millennials as co-parents is that we had old-fashioned grandparents. We had old-fashioned grandparents. That's all we had. We had old-fashioned grandparents, so we still had some old-fashioned. That's gone. These new grandparents is 35, 40, 40. You know what I'm saying? They still trying to be. They ain't trying to be in the kitchen cooking salmon croquettes. They out here having a hot girl summer. They trying to compete with their daughters instead of enjoy being grandparents. So she's right. Like when a lot of these dudes tend to divest and they find cultural structure. They find these families got resources. They pay for weddings. They buy each other cars. And I have friends from other cultures, and yeah, they get together and buy a car and buy the family a car and all this type of stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. It really is. It really is. It really is, man. And for the most part, now basically, and she also pointed out by saying that a lot of the women they've kind of pretty much been indoctrinated in America that they be all right, and they are lonely. And I've been out there with a lot of like I ain't gonna say a lot of women. I've dated a bunch of women nowadays, and they do be lonely. They be alcoholics, lonely. See, they not gonna admit that shit on the internet. When you get to talking to them, they do be lonely. They do regret, messing up their previous relationship. They regret all that shit. They do regret messing up a previous relationship. You know, they do. They do. They do. So, and she's right. A lot of these women, they pushing this and pushing that, and she like, well, they don't even know that they gonna be lonely, and they don't until it hit them. I know women that divorced and they at 40 years old, and they know they not gonna admit it, but they know it was a mistake. They know it was a mistake. They know it was a mistake. They know it. 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 They know. They know what they done was a mistake. So she's right. They don't know they're gonna be lonely. And one thing about female nature, human nature, but especially female nature, they not good being alone. And when their kids grow up, um, when they kids grow up and they start getting out there doing their own thing, and they're gonna be real lonely. We are social creatures. We are social creatures. You know, we are social creatures, and that's real. We are social creatures. We not meant to be alone. We're not meant to be alone. So we're not meant to be alone. But what she says is a lot. I think a lot of guys see the structural culture that a lot of these cultures have, and they want to be a part of it. Now, her talking about, oh, give me, get water, and her being doing things that a woman supposed to do. I think a lot of women in the U.S. do it, but then they fall off when they get the guy. They stop doing what they supposed to do, but some women don't know. Some women don't know. So then you got to train her to be like that. And a lot of these women are not trainable. You know, a lot of these women are not trainable. They don't listen to nobody. They want to do what they want to do, and a lot of times the only submission they have is to their sexual loins and the money. You hear that from women a lot. All you got to do is have a big thing, and I'm good, and that's never enough. All you got to do is have money. That ain't never enough. You know, real talk. It ain't never enough. It ain't never enough. So a lot of these women can't be satisfied. They've been so promiscuous. They've been so ran through. Um, a lot of them is just you can't satisfy them. You can't. They didn't seen so much, you know, in high school, middle school. They've been with grown dudes. They have. But she's right. A lot of guys, you know, a lot of women can have the majority of dudes, even guys that's out there, they looks range by being soft. You know, that go a long way. I was talking to this chick, man, and we seen each other somewhere out and about. And she looked me in my eyes. She said, "You know what? I prayed for you last night." And I'm like, that was to me, like at the time I needed it. Like that was huge. That was huge. And when a woman really wants you, and it's across the board in America, they go out. And I remember Country Wayne saying this in the Shannon Sharp interview, talking about that if you know that he eat vegan, if a woman really want to add value or really want to be one, she'll learn how to cook vegan for him. She'll learn how to cook vegan for him. She'll learn how to cook vegan for him. So when women want to fit into your life, they will find a niche, or they will find ways to be valuable to you. They'll find ways to be valuable to you. You know what I'm saying? They'll want to do things. Well, let me come cook for you. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, you know what? You need some groceries? Let me put some groceries in your house. Oh, you don't do this? Oh, we about to do this. They find ways to do this. Oh, your feet rough. Let me get your feet together. They find ways to provide value. And to provide value to, especially to American men, that's not a lot. They don't ask a lot. They ask for loyalty, trust, and don't have me out here looking goofy. The bare minimum. Like, just be loyal, trust you. If something happen, you come get me out of jail. You ain't fucking with other niggas. You ain't trying to hit. That's all niggas ask to do. Hygiene. That's it. But hey, cooking, cleaning. My last relationship, bro, was like people, dudes want to eat on time. They don't want to wait for food. A lot of women over here is lazy. They lazy. So they're not even built to be housewives because they just lazy. But it's some good women over here, man. Real talk. But the problem is a lot of guys are attracted to the sluttiest and the whorest of women. That's the problem. It's a lot of good women out here. But by nature, you attract the one with their titties out, her ass out, and all that type of stuff. So by nature, that's what it is, man. But like I said, it's a lot of truth to what she said here. But also, guys should travel and explore the world. Women should travel and explore the world. You know, um, but it's all gonna be the same. You still gotta provide. Uh, you still gotta provide. So it's all gonna be the same. So, um, but yeah, let me know what y'all girls and guys think. But like I said, let me finish this. Like when Kevin Samuels was going around saying this, it was Pete Brothers was saying on the internet that he was wrong. You got to understand, women on the internet are going to be combative to what men say. So it don't matter if his tone was nice or was demonstrative or it was what it was. Women don't really take advice from dudes. And that's kind of like dudes that be in a friend zone with women. Like really, you kind of like useless. You just there as an emotional support punching bag. You hear all the negative stuff, all the issues that's going on in her life, and get no reward from it. All she doing is dumping negativity on you. She don't even pay for dinner when y'all go out. You paying. Tell me I'm lying. You paying. So, like I said before, you know, if she not gonna take your advice, what's the point? Wasting your time. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, make subscribe button, is the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Check me out on Patreon. Peace.